You see it all the time on the forums, don't you? Some bloke thinks he's got it all figured out because he bought a cheap pressure washer, turns the dial down and says, "Yeah, mate, I'm soft washing now." It drives me absolutely balmy. True soft washing it's not about pressure at all. It's not a marketing gimmick to sell you a weaker jet wash. It is a process of biological sanitation. We are treating a living, breathing problem on the side of someone's house, not just blasting dirt off a tractor. Think about what's actually happening on that render or those roof tiles. You've got algae, moss, lichen. They don't just sit on the surface like a bit of mud. They anchor themselves. They grow micro roots right down into the pores of the substrate, especially if it's K-rend or some other porous silicon-based render. Now, if you roll up with a 3000 psi jet wash and just blast away at it, what are you actually doing? You're basically mowing the lawn. You've taken the tops off the weeds, sure, but you've left the root structure completely intact. And worse than that, you've actually opened up the pores of the material. You've made them bigger, rougher, and you've filled them with water. You've literally created the perfect damp little 5-star hotel for the spores to move right back into. And they will come back, believe me, faster, thicker, and blacker than they were before. That is why we do not blast. Professional soft washing runs at under 80 psi. I mean, we're talking about the pressure of a standard domestic garden hose, really. It's incredibly gentle. Instead of brute physical force, we rely on chemistry. Biodegradable, targeted chemistry that actually penetrates into those tiny pores, hits the biological cell walls of the organism and breaks them down at the source. It sanitizes the surface. It kills the spores. And because we aren't using force, we aren't blowing water behind the cladding, we aren't eroding the surface of delicate stucco, and we certainly aren't cracking aged brick or historic stone. I want you to picture this. You've got a contractor on a job, right? Historic building, beautiful old lime mortar wall. He's up there on a ladder with a jet wash trying to blast green algae off, and you can hear it, this violent shoo sound, and then boom. He's blown the lime mortar right out of the joints, dust and stone flying everywhere. Absolute disaster. Now, compare that to a professional who walks up with a soft wash system, gently sprays a biocidal solution, lets it dwell, and then just rinses it down with a soft fan spray. No damage, no drama, and the surface stays clean up to 4 times longer because the biological growth is actually dead, not just given a haircut. It's funny looking back, actually. When soft washing first started making its way across the pond from America back in the 80s and 90s, it was a bit like the Wild West. Guys were mixing up raw, concentrated bleach in the back of their vans, throwing in a bit of dish soap from the kitchen and just hoping for the best. I call it backyard chemistry. And what happened? They have no control. They'd spray a roof, the wind would catch it, and suddenly they'd bleached the customer's prize-winning roses or killed the neighbour's lawn. Or they'd end up with patchy, streaky render because they couldn't get the mix consistent. We've moved on from those days, thank goodness. Modern soft washing is a regulated professional trade now. We don't do backyard mixing anymore. We use specialised advanced chemicals. For instance, instead of washing up liquid, we use non-ionic surfactants like Clever Wash. Now, what does a surfactant actually do? It breaks the surface tension of the water, sure, but it also makes the chemicals stick. It clings to vertical walls, to render, to claddings, instead of just running straight down into the soil. It increases the dwell time, which means you can use a much weaker, safer concentration of sodium hypochlorite and still get an amazing result. And then you've got your residual biocides like Softwash Pro 50, which is DDAC based. You spray that on and it actually stays in the porous render or roof tiles, creating an environment where algae simply can't survive. It keeps working for months, even years after you've packed up your van. The equipment has evolved too. We've got automated proportioning systems now, like the clever injector dosatron systems we promote. You don't have to carry 25-litre drums of chemicals up ladders or do dodgy bucket mixing on site. The system uses the water pressure from the tap to automatically pull the exact percentage of chemical you need. It is safe, it is precise, and it keeps you fully compliant with UK COSHH regulations and environmental runoff laws. Because, let's face it, dilution is the solution to pollution, but precision is how you protect your business from a massive fine. Look, buying the chemicals, that's only 10% of the game. The other 90%? It's the science, the safety, understanding the surface and knowing how to protect the environment. That is why training is so critical. If you want to stand out from the cowboy pressure washers, you need the proper knowledge. We run the Softwash UK CPD certified softwash training course over at softwashing.uk. It is the gold standard. It gets you onto our approved Softwash applicator directory and connects you with the National Association of Softwash Community. It is how you build a real, professional, highly profitable business. Right, well, I've waffled on enough for one day. I hope that's given you a bit of food for thought if you're looking to upgrade your setup or get into render cleaning. Go check out the resources on the site and yeah, I'll catch you on the next chat. Take care, guys. Bye-bye for now.